Testing. What the heck? Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. How are you? Good morning. You got something to eat?
I'm eating some podcast food.
Podcast food?
Well, you know how you come home from work when you do, and many hours earlier you had a not very substantial lunch.
Yeah. Just kind of grab something real quick.
And then you feel kind of like, oh, I need something to eat before I dive into this drink. I just had that feeling like I should eat something, and so I've got this thing of nuts and random cereal.
Sure. Yay.
And is it raining over where you are?
Yeah, we might hear some thunder in the recording today. I'm not sure. I had a couple boomers, as they call them. Paul Majors? No, I don't remember who that was. Called them boomers. Oh, Paul Douglas. An old...
Boomers?
Yeah. It was an old weather person a long time ago on a local NBC station, I think. Paul Douglas. I think he still writes for the Star Tribune. Or Pioneer Press.
Yes, a Minnesota guy.
Yeah, he looked a little like, I don't know, maybe Pee Wee Herman's uncle.
He's no Abner Hunter George. Remember Abner Hunter George?
No. I wonder if I'm related.
I might be getting the name wrong, but
Abner George Hunter.
He was a 3-named radio announcer. I want to say he was on old KOTA in Rapid City.
Oh, no, I don't remember that.
I don't know. I remember hearing him pop up on the radio, and I was very young and thinking, how old are you?
He was already old then.
and anybody with this was Abner Hunter George, KOTA, AM, blah, blah, blah.
Well, if we get Dave Dirksen back on, or David D., back on again, we can ask him if he knew him.
I'll bet he does.
I knew of him, at least. His dad probably
maybe
knew him.
He was friends with Bill Knudsen. Remember Bill?
Oh, yeah.
The TV guy, though.
Oh. Oh, nah.
Bill Knudsen was was the main anchor on the
right
5 o'clock news.
No relation to
5:30. Sorry,
maybe no relation. Yeah, and then
to Bob Knudsen. No, I don't think so.
Then the co-host lady was the daughter of the owner of the station, I think.
Oh, Elaine Duhamel.
Yeah, the Duhamel Broadcasting Company.
Yeah, they were the big family owned the local station, and I think they're out of there now, but
they were driven out of town
on a rail
on a Duhamel camel.
Wrong. You're listening to Time to Lean, and here's a song. Phil and John have some beverages, talk about stuff, and then there's an original song. The narrator has been outsourced. Next time I may be hosting the show as well. Now, back to the humans, already in progress.
Speaking of radio, let's talk about our next... No, I'm just kidding. It's too early to get into that. But there will be a radio
what?
Connection.
What were you going to talk about?
There will be a radio connection later on when we talk about something that we watched.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of. It was a movie, though, but it was a movie about radio.
Well, it was more television, wasn't it?
Well, right. He started in radio.
No, you're right. It did start with radio. Okay.
We're back.
Put that aside.
Well, I got some... first I had I'm going to go into the what are you drinking thing already, by the way. First, I had a Summit beer, EPA, which I haven't had for a long time. That sounded kind of...
EPA, Environmental Protection Ale?
Extra Pale Ale. Environmental Pale Ale.
Okay.
And that was nice. I haven't had one of those for a while. I think it's better at a bar when you're eating wings or something than just sitting at home waiting to record a
So
podcast.
that bite really works well, huh?
I think it's a good combination. It's fine on its own.
Okay.
Well, and these were just regular Lyle's wings, the home style wings, of the best wings ever. And I'm told Lyle's is no more. It didn't survive the pandemic, unfortunately. So another
Lyle's is an old Minneapolis dive bar, right?
yeah, a classic.
I'm sorry to hear that. I did. Now, speaking of L words, did Lee's Liquor Lounge survive?
That I don't know.
We better hope so.
I mean, Lyle's was on a it's in a pretty hot spot, I think, for the city development. So I think somebody will probably
Gentrified.
buy that up and build a apartment building of some kind. I don't know. It's not the largest lot though. Maybe they could make a really tall, skinny tower with one apartment on each floor.
That's like the over in St. Paul, the very famous bar O'Gara's
Yeah.
sold out right before the pandemic,
Oh.
so they could put up a huge condo complex.
Yeah. Sad. All the old places are going.
Yeah, I'm sure the family or whoever owned the place made out like crazy, but
Oh yeah, they owned it for a long
It was-
time.
it was quite an institution. I didn't go there much, but I know a lot of people used to play there. They'd have, I think, on Sunday nights or something, they'd have big bands in there.
Oh, fun. That's too
And
bad.
that was a big thing for a lot of years.
Oh.
That I remember hearing stories about people who had gigs there every week. So that's a bummer.
Alas. And then now I'm drinking I got some Johnny Walker Black Label just for the heck of it.
Oh,
Something different.
you can't go wrong with that stuff.
It's nice.
It's good.
Smooth and kind of a little sweet and a little smoky.
Well, it's popular for a reason,
It's not offensive.
unlike yourself.
A little.
And you're drinking that on ice or
Well, I had it neat at first, but now I put it on some ice now.
Yeah, it's as they say, a good all rounder.
It is.
That's right.
I'm all square.
Tonight I made a martini, a straight old fashioned style one.
Martini
Shaken.
Navratilova. No? That is a drink.
Oh, what's in it?
I don't know. A tennis ball.
A martini navratilova is a room temperature cocktail, made with old olives, shaken in a tennis ball tube, and strained through the string of a tennis racket.
That sounds terrible. Sorry, I'm eating an almond.
What's your favorite nut?
Cashews.
Oh, okay.
Cashews and probably pecans.
I like pistachios. But they're
Yeah, they're okay.
a bitch to open. A pain in the butt to open.
The ones I
Break a fingernail.
really don't enjoy when you get your canonical can of mixed nuts. Are those Brazil nuts? Those
Oh.
kind of oversized. They look like they're in there just to bulk up the
Yeah,
package.
it's just filler.
And they don't really have much flavor. And
No.
they've got this, like the skin or whatever that outer layer is usually half off of it. And
I just don't
Don't
put
like
those in there.
yeah, it's sucker food.
No offense to Brazil. And you feel obligated to eat it. I mean, what are you going to do?
I've heard people like them, but
No?
they're always the last thing in the can.
Well, I eat them with the mix just to kind of, I don't know, get it over
Yeah.
with.
They're kind of offensive though. Anyway, my martini is made with Hendrick's gin,
Yeah.
which is Scotland gin. A friend of the show, Megan Kay, is a fan.
Yes.
This is a new version that came out a few months ago called Lunar, like Lunar Lander. it's supposedly the botanicals used in it only bloom at night.
Okay. So it's for moths.
Yeah, it's a little dusty. And it's I mean, all the Hendrix gins are good. This one is very nice. It's not quite as fruity sweet as the midsummer solstice version I tried a few months ago.
That one's kind of fruity.
That one is a little sweeter.
Yeah, I wonder if this summer is going to be big for different gins. I saw that Snoop Dogg has one out called Indigo.
Oh, I saw that. That's hilarious.
It's like strawberry infused with real strawberries. So
and weed.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, the Hendrix gin, the Lunar gin, is really good. I've had it straight up. It's very tasty on its own. I have no doubt it would be. Actually, I've tried it with tonic. It's also really good. So if you run across it and you want something, it's a little bit different.
Is it a different color?
No, it's still a. I mean,
gin colored.
The bottle is a very dark blue.
Okay, I wondered. I saw a picture and I wondered if it was blue or something.
The gin itself is not. It's not like a pink gin or one of those.
Okay, all right.
Yep. So that's real good. It makes a great martini, and makes me want to try more gins. So I probably should do that.
It's getting to be that time of year. We'll have to break out the gin for as it warms up.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have any. I didn't get any today. I thought about it, but then I got this instead. If it was warm like it was the other day, I probably would have gotten gin. But we got back to the. It's not cold, but this is just kind of damp and.
No, it's just raining.
Rained all day.
And yet out in the home country, South Dakota, they're getting a blizzard.
Oh.
From the same weather system. For once we got the better weather.
If this turns to snow, we could get dumped on. There's even a tornado watch or some darn thing.
That's outrageous.
I don't know if it's still going on right now.
Speaking of celebrity products,
well,
Seth Rogen has a new company out.
What?
To sell weed. Actually, he's just selling straight up weed.
Oh,
Shocker.
Okay.
But he has all sorts of accessories.
Yeah. Well, I know Willie Nelson has a blend out somewhere.
Of course he does.
Sure.
I want to see the Snoop Dogg Martha Stewart collaboration.
The hash browns. Hash brownies.
Yeah. Hash browns. hash browns.
Hashtag hash browns, hash brownies.
Double hash.
Yeah, that would be... I'd get those. I would try that.
They could sell them at Waffle House. I tell you, it's all coming together.
Boy.
They just got to get everything legalized and hash brown.
Brownie.
Hash brown Betty. No.
Ramble lamba. Hash brown Betty, ramble lamba.
Oh, careful.
Can't say it. Can't sing that song anymore. I hear it still sometimes.
No. I was thinking of the copyright police.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
No, I think that falls under fair use.
And it isn't Brown Betty, it's Black Betty, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not brown.
Yeah. Brownie. Remember Brownie from the W days? Back when we thought
that Brownie's doing a heck of a job.
Yeah. We back when we thought George Bush was the worst president ever.
That was such those were the good days, weren't they? Good old days.
I just look back at George W. Bush and I mean he
really just wanted to hang out at his ranch and paint.
I think he was I don't know. He just was out of his element, I think. But I think he meant well, sort of. I don't know.
Yeah, in general, I mean, I don't think I'll say the same thing about Cheney, but sure.
Well, Cheney took advantage of that. So I haven't seen that movie yet. Have you? The one about Dick Cheney? What's it called? Dick or something like that?
Vice, I think it's called.
Vice? Vice Dick.
I'm Dick Cheney, Vice Dick.
See, if I would have made that movie, I would have just called it Dick.
Yeah, it's so funny because there's been a movie about W.
Yeah.
There's been a movie about Dick Cheney.
Oh, and maybe Donald Rumsfeld. Oh, that was a documentary, though, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's more of a...
The known knowns, the unknown knowns, and then whatever.
Rummy. Good old Rummy.
The weird old days. Yeah, but then it got worse.
How many movies are they going to make about Trump?
Oh, I don't know if that...
The material is rich, I'm sure.
It's too way too soon. Nobody wants to relive any of that. I don't. Maybe some of his fans would.
I bet it won't be long though.
Ugh. I'll skip that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's
true.
I wonder what they call it. Orange.
Orange is the new gold, or
I guess it did.
I don't know.
What would you call it? Trump, I guess.
Oh, I'm sure they'll come up with some clever Mr. T.
I pity the fool. Mr. T. Oh, well, he never ran for office. He got into the rest.
Mr. T should have run for office.
I'm kind of
I mean,
surprised
if
he didn't.
Arnold Schwarzenegger can, why not Mr. T?
I don't know why he didn't. Maybe he did. Maybe he was a mayor somewhere. I don't know. I don't think so. Clint Eastwood. Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever.
More A-Team cast members in office, please.
Boom, boom, boom. Copyright, please. Here they come.
Yeah, it's the English. They use the English siren when they come for you. They're the copyright police.
I think the police are pretty busy building up barricades and stuff around here anyway.
Oh, that's right. We have the Chauvin trial. That's...
No, I am not looking forward to this around here. It's going to be a mess, I'm afraid.
Oh, over by where you work.
Well, just the Twin Cities area. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Unfortunately, I don't have to go near downtown, so
we'll see how it goes. Yeah, they're boarding it up again already, so
yeah, it's true.
There's no reason to go there. I used to work downtown many years ago. I probably already talked about that, haven't I?
I think so.
Coffee shop inside of a bookstore.
Inside of a coffee shop.
Inside of a building.
Inside of a Brazil nut.
I have lost track of how many times Phil has talked about working in downtown.
Oh, you were going to look up, Glenda had mentioned a whiskey.
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
But I think I've seen it.
To hell with her then.
I think I did look it up and then I forgot again. No, it was the whiskey that she mentioned, a Colorado one, and I think you can get it around here too. And
that when she was on most recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but this isn't helpful to anybody again now.
Nope.
I could look it up now, but it would be like there.
We'll post it on the Facebook page.
Did I already? Let's see. Colorado whiskey. This is going to be one of those kind of episodes. I'm a little slow today. Just tired, I guess. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's the weather.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about the vaccine?
We could.
Or is that not a good idea? I don't know.
No, I don't know if we should. Breckenridge? Oh, Barrel? I think Barrel whiskey is the thing she talked about.
Oh, is that Colorado? I've seen it around. I didn't know that was Colorado.
Yeah, I made the connection after she had talked about it. Yeah, it was way up on the...
Okay.
I couldn't even reach it. It was such a high shelf.
That is top shelf stuff.
It was...
Yeah.
Only the best for Glenda M.
Well, if she ever makes it out here, tell her to bring some.
Well,
you tell her to bring some.
We could get some here. I'll have her bring some edibles. Yeah, that's...
No, we're sort of in the age group now where we can get vaccinated.
As long as our BMI is high enough. We have to...
So if you drink more whiskey, you can qualify for it.
Well, with my pandemic weight gain, I might just be up there, so...
I'm pretty sure you can just go in and they're not going to challenge it.
They're not going to weigh you?
Put you on a scale, yeah.
Just your height? I
I'll
suppose.
just look it up.
I do wonder how that.
You've got a beer belly. You can get the shot.
It seems like people I've been talking to that are eligible, I mean, they or have been. It's pretty hard to get it in the cities. It's like maybe not as hard to get it in rural areas for whatever reasons.
They seem to have more openings if you look at the appointments. Yeah.
So, once again, that urban-rural divide that we have here.
We'll both have it soon.
Oh yeah, well
Maybe by the next episode. We'll
right? they're pumping out that vaccine. They got 3 now. So Johnson and Johnson, you get a Band-Aid with it or something. I don't know. You probably do. It's a shot.
I would like that one because you only have to do it once.
One and done. But it's only 65% effective. But it's more effective for really serious cases against serious. So it doesn't really. I don't know. There's these weird percentages, you know. Yeah, but only one shot. That would be.
I would get the one I could get.
Right. I will get a half a shot. This 10% effective. I'm done.
You get a discount.
Ding. 10%. It's a 10% effective shot.
That's terrible.
Here's your discount.
Here's the cheap vaccine. It's only 10% effective.
Bottom shelf vaccine.
It comes in a big jug.
And that's the one they have in the rural or the urban areas, of course.
Yeah. That's true. No, so yeah, I'm feeling more optimistic though.
Oh yeah,
it's the vaccines are within reach, and I know lots of people who have gotten it now. That feels really good.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd be able to, our demographic would be able to get it until like July, maybe at the earliest. But it's been moving up. Mm-hmm. So
I think I figured that we would, the two of us in our group, would have it sometime in the summer, certainly before fall.
Yeah,
but no, it's going well. I think they've stepped up.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting so optimistic. Some colleges are thinking about no distancing, which I think means you sit on each other's laps. I don't know, but
that's right. Double the number of people.
It's negative distancing.
I really hope we go back to normal. Just make them wear masks, and we'll be okay.
Yeah, it's just and people are going to get confused. It's like, oh, I had my vaccine, but I don't need a mask. It's like that's not quite how it works.
Yeah,
they'll have some better guidance.
They could get pretty stiff and like say, well, if you want to attend classes on campus, you have to be vaccinated.
Yeah,
I doubt they will do that though.
Well, and so
people don't like to be told what to do.
With the herd immunity, it has to be like 80% or something. I can't remember. So if at least 80% of the people get vaccinated, I guess that's good. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
Dr. Filchi.
Dr. Filchi, there you go.
So the 10% vaccine is 10% effective, and everyone should get that and put a mask on your buttocks. Mm-hmm. See, I'd be a terrible doctor.
Okay, so did you watch the Meghan Markle Prince Harry?
No. Did you?
No, of course not.
How are we going to talk about that?
Oh, okay. I don't know.
No, I meant how.
I was trying to stay relevant. Come on.
No, I meant
talk about something besides Abner Hunter George and butt shots.
I was trying to figure out. No, what I said was how are we going to talk about that, not why. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I've heard about it, but
I didn't even. I kind of ignored it. I think it. I'm curious. And then Oprah Winfrey. I mean, she doesn't do interviews very often anymore. So
yeah, she's a real pro. Sounds like it was well done and really well marketed. I mean, she is all business.
Yeah. There's no messing around with Oprah Winfrey. No, she's
Oprah Winfrey.
I always kind of thought she was going to run for office someday, but she knows better. I don't know what party she'd run on. Maybe she'd make her own party.
Yeah, she could have the old party.
Oprah Winfrey versus Donald Trump in 2024. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Or some other. Who's another?
Like a real death match.
No, there was another guy. Jerry Springer. He could go up against. He was a politician.
Oh, Jerry
too.
Springer always came up as a possible
He was a politician.
nominee for something.
I think he was a mayor or something too at some point. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he kind of got into politics, didn't he? Jerry Springer.
Yeah, he could go against Trump.
No, that would be funny.
Jerry Springer served on the Cincinnati City Council in the 1970s. Jerry also played the U.S. President in The Defender, directed by Dolph Lundgren in 2004.
And then
Yuck.
Trump's VP could be Dr. Phil.
Hey, he's a doctor.
Yeah, see?
He'll also help with the next pandemic.
That's right. Dr. Phil will be in charge of COVID-25.
Oh, who's that other doctor? Well, and those people are
Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz, yeah.
Yeah, that jackass.
Those yeah, he could be the Surgeon General. But see, the thing is, I think they're Oprah creations. I don't know if I think her production company
Dr. Phil is, I think.
I think Dr. Oz was too. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know if they're part of the same syndicate or not. So maybe they'd serve on Oprah's cabinet instead.
There you go. As long as they don't have any real job, I'm okay.
Snoop Dogg for president.
There's a cabinet member.
Yeah. Hey, Snizzle.
Yeah. Okay.
Fine. I wonder if he likes Brazil nuts. We're going to get Snoop Dogg on the show and ask him about Brazil nuts.
That'll be for our 420 episode.
Yeah, I suppose we could have a theme one for that.
We've never done a 420 episode.
Well, I could get my friend David D on.
I know two people that would
Yeah.
be good guests for that.
I know my friend David D
Maybe three.
is a reggae spoken word artist.
Mm-hmm.
And lifelong legalization advocate. I wouldn't know about lifelong, but no, he's at
a young age.
He's an interesting guy. Oh,
I'll
you've
say.
met Dave.
Of course.
Some party here or there.
Mm-hmm. And at the 7th Street entry thing we did once.
Oh, that's right. That when we were the Segway Cabaret. Did we talk about that on here?
Where Sean sang.
Yeah. I think
come
maybe
together.
we talked about that when Sean was on once or something.
Yeah. Well, if not, we should wait for his
I don't remember.
perspective. It's possible we didn't. Sean would know.
Yeah, it was kind of the idea. I had this weird little idea to do a show kind of in the intermission or whatever, a complete show with 3 different acts. They were all just us 3, and I don't know. We got a lot of a wide range of reactions. That was really fun. So now you said we were going to wait to talk about it, and then I got started talking about it. Fine. Well, I'm done.
Okay. How about our homework?
Ah, you gave me. Well, I kind of had 2 assignments. One was
I snuck an extra one in.
a long time ago. We talked about watching Face in the Crowd, the Andy Griffith. What year was that? Mm-hmm. I forgot.
1957 is
Okay, so that was 2 years.
starring Andy Griffith and Patricia Neal and Walter Matthau.
Yeah, Walter Matthau. Boy, I think that was one of the best things I've seen him in.
He was great, and
He
it
was
wasn't
excellent.
His usual
No,
kind of, it definitely was not Grumpy Old Man.
Bad News Bears or
he was pretty young for one thing.
yeah, he played he was a secondary character. I don't know. I think he was one of the more interesting characters. I mean, of course, you got Andy Griffith and Patricia Neal's characters were really good, and the acting was really good. But I for some reason I was more intrigued by Walter Matthau's.
I was surprised about how interesting he was.
They
Considering how an over-the-top performance Andy Griffith was doing.
Right. Oh, man. It was fun to see Andy Griffith doing something different, but that was crazy.
It's really a fun thing to see, especially it's a little bit like the movie Network, which I'm a big fan of as well, that seems to predict later trends in mass culture.
Yeah, this definitely had that kind of feel going on. This was like an early influencer.
And it had that kind of blending of mass media, entertainment, and politics.
Yeah,
You couldn't help but think of Donald Trump.
No.
And other people.
Sure. And
it's a little bit outdated in the fact that some of the things that happen would not be an issue today. Basically, I'll leave it at that.
Well, it was a really good movie. I mean, and yeah, so basically it's a character. Patricia Neal's character. I don't remember the character's name, but she has a radio show. Her dad, they're like the Duhamels of Arkansas or whatever.
That's right. There was a little Duhamel like.
Her dad owns the radio station, and so I guess she has this show called Face in the Crowd or something, and she is it Face or Faces? I don't know.
A face
in the crowd, right?
Yeah, it was kind of a find some colorful character in real life to talk on the radio and be entertaining.
So this time she decided to go to the prison, and there was a drunk guy played by Andy Griffith.
Although he had his guitar with him in jail, though.
Yeah, I was like, man, that would have gotten smashed or something. I don't know. They protected it. He slept on it. But, so she, why don't you sing one of your songs? The warden or whatever. Probably had a couple of kickbacks there to get the prisoners to perform for something. And Andy Griffith's character does. Then there you go from there. He just, a meteoric rise, stardom, and all the trappings that go along with it. Crazy.
Yeah, it's very... future forward looking, and it's also just so fun to see Griffith play outside of almost any other role he did.
Oh, this is no
where
sheriff.
He just did the nice folksy, the Andy Griffith Show character, or even Matlock or other stuff like that.
I mean, this was a folksy character, but just...
Oh. Yeah, it was like the dark side, though.
Yeah, it was definitely the dark side of hayseeds or haystacks or whatever they call it.
And a dark side, but not just that he's a very flawed character, but it's very cynical because he knows he's doing a performance.
Yeah.
By doing all the down home folks shtick.
Yeah.
That that's what
self-aware about it.
Spoiler, but what does him in is he's caught on Mike saying how dumb he thinks his audience is for buying his routine.
Yeah. Hot Mike.
Yeah. Hot Mike.
But, it's
a big deal in the movie. It's very dramatic, well done, and all that. But if you don't, you just think, well, think of all the stuff Trump has said on a Hot Mic that didn't matter at all. Because people don't believe it.
Right. They kind of alluded to that. They want to. They kind of alluded to that a little bit, except it was live then. But
and it was on live TV,
so it's harder to fake.
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, for the time, it was a big deal because that just didn't happen.
But nowadays, even if there was a hot mic, you'd just say, "Oh, that didn't happen," or whatever.
Beyond that stuff, it's also really interesting the way it talks about early television and advertising.
Yeah,
and how
there's a lot in this movie.
Yeah, that's one reason why it's so well remembered is because it hits a lot of issues, and like the fact that when Griffith's character gets very famous, they start trying to get him to endorse things and the usual advertising things, and he kind of makes fun of them and like says, "Oh, look at this,
the mattress
guy who runs
company.
this company is blah blah blah." And the thing is, the lesson that comes out is there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, we got to get rid of him," and they're like, "Sales have gone up, blah blah blah."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the CEO is really mad and wants to fire him, and then the bean counters come in and say, "We're selling a lot more stuff,"
and not just because people were burning them, but
yeah. I mean, it was just such recognition that.
And then it evolves to the.
There's so much truth in that.
The general wanted him to help a politician get a little more.
Yeah,
connected
exactly.
to
That's when he gets into political things and is going to be kind of a kingmaker because of his platform and all that. That part of it is pretty Trump-like.
But and the other thing too that was interesting was that I think they were talking about a transition between different kinds of politicians. So that there was like the old school senator, the orator, boring, blah blah blah, and this guy's coming in and saying, "You need to spruce this up, buddy. You gotta get. You gotta
be entertaining.
Yeah, they gotta love you."
Yep, and that's why again I find so many. I find the post World War II period so interesting because that's where all that stuff really gets moving.
I don't know, but it seems like this movie was way ahead of its time. I don't. It's hard to imagine looking back, 1957, with all that we've been through the past few years, even that somebody would have had a movie. But even Network was like that, Network was.
It's definitely ahead of its time, and it's one of those movies that has a few contemporaries. Another one that came a little bit after that, or around the same time, is this movie called Ace in the Hole, which is about newspaper reporters covering a mining accident, and they capitalize on it, on the suffering.
Oh.
It's a very cynical, bitter movie. Even more than this one. And this one and Facing the Crowd came in the same general time period. Ace in the Hole is Billy Wilder.
Yeah.
But both of those movies were not commercially successful. The audience at the time did not want to see a movie like that.
Who was the the director and producer was Elia Kazan? Is that guy that was banned from?
Yeah, he's the one that testified against people on the blacklist.
So did that happen?
He's still pretty controversial.
But that happened. So where was that? That must have happened after this movie was made.
This movie was made after that, actually.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, he kept making movies.
Okay.
I mean, that's one reason he was able to, because he cooperated.
Oh, right. No, I remember that famous
even today,
time.
People still debate that.
I remember that famous, I think it was during the Oscars, they brought him out or whatever, and boy, that was...
Yeah, a lot of discussion about that. Still some hard feelings.
Yeah, that was... Talk about a lot of different reactions. That was... I don't know. I think it's worth watching him showing up to that just to listen to the reactions when he showed up on stage. I mean, it was... just an odd, you could feel it through the television. It was so intense. Even if there weren't a lot of noise, that you could just feel this conflict.
And Kazan made some, he made some really good movies, don't get me wrong. But some of the ones that are thought of in retrospect as liberal message movies or whatever like that are really not all that daring, and they're actually kind of conventional.
Sure.
But this one's a little bit more edgy than most of his, and even the ones that people think are pretty safe today have some interesting readings you can do. Like On the Waterfront is one of his famous movies. Sure. That actually is, even though it seems to be a fairly progressive movie, because it's talking about organized labor and corruption. It is actually more of a defense of just giving in and not fighting the system. If you read it the right way.
Which he did.
So, yeah, he totally did. I mean, basically, the people who go against it suffer.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that I find that stuff really, really fun.
But I think so. As a journalist, Walter Matthau was a journalist and played a journalist in the movie, and he is probably in love with Patricia Neal's character. It's bitter. There is a change in that character. He gets a little more bitter and kind of a dick, I guess, at the end. I mean, he's more confident for sure, but he's not so milquetoast.
No, I think the haze has been lifted, so to speak.
Yeah.
And of course, he's in his own way going to profit off of this because he's writing a book about Andy Griffith's
expose
character.
or whatever.
And yet he has sympathy for Neal's character because she is so conflicted.
Yeah.
Because she has feelings for him and all that stuff. It's complex.
And help create him. It's kind of a Frankenstein story in a way.
Very much.
I created a monster. And then, yeah, I mean, I won't give away that much, but maybe there are some more Frankenstein references. I don't know. Not references necessarily on purpose or overtly. I didn't think of that when I was watching it, but now I'm thinking of Frankenstein more for some reason. But whatever.
The tale as old as time.
We're really pushing it on the copyright things here.
Oh, no.
What are you doing?
Disney's going to get me now.
We're going to get Disney Plus. Or Disney Minus.
Yeah. So the other thing we watched was this, also from the 50s. Huh?
1955.
Yeah.
2 years before A Face in the Crowd.
This short series that Orson Welles, who we like to talk about because we're fans, this series that Orson Welles did on the BBC.
Which somehow I hadn't heard of.
I hadn't either.
I thought I watched everything.
Came up in this book. But
I thought I watched everything on YouTube about, just had videos of Orson Welles talking. But no.
Well, he did a lot of interviews on TV over the years, so it's not that hard to miss a few.
Right. I'll give myself a pass on that, but
it's 6 15-minute episodes, which is very much a YouTube kind of a thing, actually.
Yeah, before YouTube.
And they're not actually interviews. He picks a topic for each episode and sits down and just talks to the camera.
It's the BBC. And he probably did it to make some money to make a movie. So.
Well, he was very much doing that. All sorts of things. He was also trying to get into television in general at the time, and I think this was seen as a way for him to test the waters, and he did a lot of little experiments.
Yeah. Well, it was just him talking to the camera. I mean, he'd sometimes he'd look at his sketchbook, so it was called Orson Welles Sketchbook, and he'd do a sketch or two based on what he was talking about, and I'm guessing they just let him talk about whatever I wonder how long it took to film the series. I wonder if he just did it in one day.
Yeah, from reading about his life at that period, it very well could have been he just made them one after the other because he had so
many things
really
going on.
Candle burning at multiple ends. So I think at the time he was doing live theater in England, and so he kind of go do these over a day or two, and the thing that's remarkable is that they're not scripted. He basically just sits down, has this sketch that he actually can draw pretty well.
Yeah,
and has a vague topic, and he just talks and tells stories.
It's an early podcast.
It kind of is, and in some ways that's actually when Wells is at his best, when he's doing that kind of just. It's like you're just sitting across the table from him and he's talking to you.
He's a heck of a storyteller. I mean, he embellishes and stuff, but I mean, you could almost just listen to him talking about going to the grocery store or something would probably be an interesting story. I mean, he always had a fun voice. This was a little bit younger before he got quite as, but it was still,
it's kind of a transitional period in his career, and from watching these, it's really obvious why he was so successful on radio in the earlier days.
Yeah.
When he would do these, not just the War of the Worlds kind of stuff or the plays, but he actually would do these commentary things where he'd write like some kind of on some topic and do a little speech and like.
I guess I didn't really know that.
He had a number of those back in the 40s.
I didn't really know about that in this radio. I remember reading more about you're farther along in the Orson Welles series
in
than
the biographies, yeah. And it's great, and the one of the interesting ones, they're all pretty good, but his one about the police was really interesting.
Yeah, that was odd.
And it didn't quite go the way, because it's a little bit like, it started out as he told a story about a black man who was murdered by a policeman or something like that in the South, and how he had raised the issue and got the public's attention, which happened.
Yeah.
But it kind of became this, it kind of went in a different direction and became this whole
international police kind of.
Well, but it actually became, for me, this almost a surveillance society, like how everybody is tracked, and it was this interesting, forward-looking.
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
If you apply that to modern life, how everything is under surveillance and tracked, and he was just talking about like people having to fill out forms when they traveled and things like that. But that part was just like, oh, that's really interesting how he's framing that and looking ahead.
The free citizen is more of a nuisance to the police. They know what to do with a criminal.
Yeah, that's right.
He had all these. That was not an Orson Welles impersonation, but that
is one of the quotes.
He had so many good quotes in this. The thing about him is he, like, especially in the first one, he's kind of self-deprecating. He's
he could very.
This is a prop, and the sketchbook is a prop, and he kind of self-deprecating. At the same time, though, he's building this mythology about himself with his stories.
Yep. No. There's a lot of myth making going on with, especially his theater stories.
Oh,
are
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
But the police one is also I swear that he basically has come up with the idea for the ACLU when he suggested with a different name that there were going to be this group of experts or lawyers basically who would challenge the authorities that, oh, you want too much information or you're violating my rights or things like that.
I can't remember the name of the group that he came up with.
No, it was some really
long,
kind of
weird
labored
thing
acronym
with the acronym. Yeah, it was crazy. Oh,
that was another thing. It's like, wow, he's really touching on a lot of things that have become real issues.
Yeah, even more so.
Yeah, brilliant guy.
He had a thing about noses. I don't know what he just did not think his nose was predominant enough. So he was always adding for his character, not always, but this nose makeup. But so when he in one I think it's the second episode, he makes a sketch of himself, and then he keeps making the nose more and more predominant. He just couldn't tolerate a weak nose, but whatever.
The nose thing is a famous. He would wear them in movies quite often, usually other people's movies he was acting in, and the rule of thumb, so to speak, was that the bigger or the more ridiculous the nose, the less he thought of the part he was playing.
This needs a really big nose. This stinks. Yeah.
But at least according to the biographer who I'm reading right now, there's kind of an underlying psychology to the nose and costuming and all that kind of underlines his basic insecurity as an actor. He was always insecure as an actor. And he hated to give performances in front of other actors. Like when he would direct his own plays, he would have other people read during the rehearsals and would not do the acting in the role. And usually it's some lead like King Lear or something huge like that. And nobody would see him do the role until like the night before they opened.
Oh, strange.
And he would have other people do, because he just did not want to perform in front of other actors. Or if he was doing a film, he would make the director do all the scenes they could without other people on the set.
Oh, that you couldn't do that today.
Yeah.
I mean,
actually, you could probably do it even more
in movies, but I don't know.
No, I don't.
On plays,
it's an odd thing.
Even
and
then, you couldn't.
Considering how well, because most of his money was made from acting in films, because people liked him so much and he was such a character.
Oh yeah,
that it's so funny that he that was the thing he was most insecure about, and it was compounded by the fact that he made the mistake of directing himself in plays and movies.
Yeah,
which really kind of made for a lot of problems.
Oof.
So a very complicated guy, but
yeah.
Anyway, the series, even if you're just a little interested in Wells, is well worth checking out.
Yeah,
6 15-minute episodes. They're on YouTube. They're great.
The fifth one, he talked about the whole War of the Worlds thing, and
that was great too. Actually,
the one line was like, supposedly they found someone in the Black Hills of South Dakota 5 weeks later who still thought that the aliens had invaded.
That's right, they did. He called it the Black Hills of Dakota, as I've heard other people call it.
Well,
so there's our Rapid City connection right there.
That Beatles song, Rocky Raccoon.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Black Hills of Dakota?
Black Mountain Hills of South Dakota? Or no, they just say Dakota. Yeah. Hey, it's South Dakota.
I think it's back in the Black Hills of Dakota, and he's kind of slurring it together.
Yeah. Which we should. It's like the end of an episode. We're getting a little slurry.
That's right.
Coal slurry.
Just like us.
Clean coal slurry.
No, speaking of coal.
Always good, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, I enjoyed that. But of course, he talked about Houdini at one point, too. He was into magic. And supposedly, Houdini gave him some lessons? Or I wonder if that's true. I just wonder what percentage
he probably met him once or something, and that's what that's all
extrapolated. But I don't know, maybe.
Magic was a big thing he was into, though.
Maybe Houdini gave him some lessons. I don't know. I just don't know what percentage of the story is true, you know. I mean, he was making... He never finished that movie, I don't think. It's All True? Did he finish that one?
Nope.
Yeah.
That's the one he did in South America, yeah.
And F is for Fake, which I started watching, but I haven't finished yet.
F for Fake, though, is sort of... It's about illusions and things like that.
But I'm sure he gets into his own psychology somewhere. I've only seen a little bit of it, but... Yeah, he was a character in real life. Fine,
it's true.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think your favorite performance of his is? I know that's a crazy ass question, but I have a favorite. But you can go first if you want.
Well, it's easy to name Citizen Kane because the movie is so good.
Sure.
And he does so many different. He does like young character, old characters, and so he's great in that. But
yeah,
I really think he is great in Touch of Evil.
Is that where he plays the Mexican?
No, that's Charlton Heston plays the Mexican cop.
Oh, right, but he's in that one.
Yeah, no, he plays the corrupt police captain.
Yeah, okay, right. Charlton Heston is in there.
Charlton Heston is I think he's a DA or something.
Yeah. What was,
Yeah, Wells is great in that one.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember the name of the movie offhand, and it wasn't an Orson Welles directed. He just showed up for, but he has probably the best monologue in.
Probably The Third Man.
The Third Man.
That's one of his.
His monologue. I don't know if maybe I won't say it's his best performance, but that was the best monologue and monologue delivery I've ever seen in any movie or play or anything. That his monologue in The Third Man is I could just watch that monologue. I mean the movie's really good too, but that monologue
it's one of my favorite movies actually.
Yeah.
And He also has the best entrance
Yeah.
where they talk about, it's one of those classic things where they talk about the guy.
Yeah.
He has this reputation and blah, blah, blah.
And then there he shows up. And it's Orson Welles and what? Yeah.
And then he like turns, he like the light just hits his face after a cat meows at him in the alleyway or something. And it's just it's black and white.
Yeah.
You see his face lit up in a really great way. And
It's perfect.
One of the best entrances ever in the movies.
The cat's appearance in The Third Man led to the creation of the Screen Cat Guild in 1953.
That movie is very good overall, but and I'm not he didn't steal the show. I mean the movie. I mean
No.
James Cotton, is that the actor?
Joseph
Yeah. Cotton. The look, the feel of cotton, the fabric of our film. No, but he. Yeah, he was really good too. It's a really good movie, and the rest it isn't just like Orson Welles shows up and steals the show, but
No, and they say that's one of the only films that he did where he did not wear a false nose.
he knew it was good.
Yeah, he had a lot of respect for the people, and usually he would go into other people's movies with disrespect for the people directing because he usually thought he could do better.
Sure, and maybe he could have, but I tell you though that movie was really well done. Maybe he couldn't have. I wouldn't.
Just different.
It would have been different.
But Wells had a lot of respect for Carol Reed, who directed it.
Yeah.
Those English directors.
Yeah, his other. I haven't seen everything he's ever done. I don't want to give that impression. I haven't watched. I probably shouldn't admit this, but I haven't seen like a lot of his Shakespeare stuff. But I should. So there.
Okay.
He's dead.
What else have you watched
He's
lately?
dead.
I don't know.
I got into this. It's basically a soap opera, but it's a show called Midnight Diner, and it's Japanese, and it's a story about this diner owner owns a diner, chef guy, and he opens his diner from midnight to 7 in the morning every day, I think. And
that's asking for trouble.
and of course, interesting characters show up at the wee hours. But and you get to know these characters show up, and you get to know a little bit more about them. But you don't really get to know much about the cook, the diner guy. He's got a scar over his left eye, but that's all. How do you get the scar? Well, you find out a little bit more at the end of season 1. It's a three seasons. They're shorter, 25 minutes or something. So, but they're just, I don't know. You just get teary-eyed in almost every damn one. It's not something you want to watch every night. It's like, I'm going to have a good cry before I go to bed. Maybe it's cathartic. I don't know. And it may be a little manipulative. I mean, it is kind of like it manipulates your emotions, and the idea is that these people will come in and order something, and probably has some connection to their childhood, or because food and memory is definitely a motif in this one. And I don't know. I guess it's been out for so long. I'm guessing by the time I recommend anything, anyone that would be interested has already seen it by the time I watch something. But
but maybe not. People don't have time to keep up with everything.
There's a lot out there. It looks like I don't remember. I don't know what years it was. 2011 or something. I think around there. But I did notice. So it's on Netflix, and I did notice that there may be a second version called Midnight Diner Tokyo Stories. So I don't know if
Midnight Diner to Georgia.
I mean, and then I watched the first couple episodes of Schitt's Creek finally.
Oh, you've gotten through 2 now.
Right.
Good.
Everyone else in the world has seen it twice, so I'm still on episode 3. And I know it's one of those ones I need to give more. It's got a good start, and I know it'll get better. Of course, Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara. I'm huge fans of theirs since SCTV and the other things they've done together. Christopher Guest movies and that, but just and I know I can tell they're going to do quite a bit with I'm guessing Catherine O'Hara will just have more and more fun. And Eugene Levy's eyebrows are almost characters unto themselves.
That's right, they are.
They could each have a name. I wonder if he has his eyebrows insured. I don't know, because man, if he had a shaving accident, I think half of his repertoire would be gone. He's always had the best eyebrows in showbiz.
I think one of the things that I enjoy about that show is it's not just. I mean, you're right. Levy and O'Hara are both great, and O'Hara sometimes steals the show, really. But
wow. Especially
later on when they get into some of her really weird situations with her acting career and things like that.
Yeah. They alluded to that a little bit in the second episode, where
they definitely get more into that.
The mayor asked him to slap him. That was kind of
that's right. But the secondary characters really get a lot of great things to do.
That's good.
So it's just a great ensemble.
Yeah. No, I know it's going to be good, and I'm not saying it's bad. It's just I've only watched 2 episodes.
No, they're just fun too.
Yeah, and again, a short. It's kind of like for a while it was only twice evidently, but I've watched more Midnight Diners than I have. For a while, I'd switch over from Midnight Diner to Gardener's World, and then for a couple times I alternated to Midnight Diners to Schitt's Creek, because you don't want to go to bed.
Or Midnight Gardeners.
Yeah, that would be a good show. Midnight. Back to the moths. Oh yeah, they could make those moth botanicals. Mm-hmm. There, we came full circle.
I'll throw a quick recommendation out for
the Circle of
one
Moths.
that a lot of people are talking about, but it's that show on CNN by
what?
Stanley Tucci.
I thought you were going to say WandaVision. No,
WandaVision's really good. Yeah, we finished that. That's also good.
Okay, but
most people know about that one.
Tucci Benucci.
Stanley Tucci, you've heard of him, actor?
Oh yeah, he's great.
He did this show where he travels around Italy.
Oh my!
Meeting people and talking about all the different types of food.
Oh, that sounds great! I love those kind of shows.
Yeah, I think you'd like it. It's fun. He goes to all the different regions and talks about how the different regions have the food are different.
Oh, what was that movie he made where it was so food centric?
Big Night.
Yeah, that was a good movie. That was fun.
And it's great. Yeah, he's very entertaining, but he also lets all the locals he talks to really do their thing. And
good.
The scenery is beautiful, of course. It's interesting that it was filmed right before the pandemic started and then a little bit into it. So some of the episodes, they're clearly all wearing masks and things like that. And then other ones, they put little disclaimers up saying, this was shot before the pandemic.
I know. You have to. It's like...
Because it does look a little bit weird if you see one episode where they're all pre-pandemic and the next one they're all... everything's shut down. Because Italy had a huge... Italy actually did have a lockdown.
Yeah, and an actual lockdown.
Yeah. So anyway, it's very fun. I don't think it's actually... There's been 5 or 6 of them so far.
What's that called? Did you say?
Is it just... I better check.
It was Tucci Benucci.
I'll cut this part out.
I'll cut this part out. We always say...
We haven't done us... Oh, it's... Okay. It's called Stanley Tucci Searching for Italy.
Oh, okay. Now, that definitely sounds good.
Yeah, no, it's very fun. We both liked it a lot. It's just low stress, beautiful scenery, amazing looking food. And interesting people.
Well, the problem
all that stuff. It's great.
The problem with that kind of show is I usually watch TV before I go to bed, and some of these shows I watch, they make me so freaking hungry. I'm like, this will be one of those. Do I go downstairs and get a snack, or it's like, I should just go to bed. But maybe not. Maybe I need a couple extra pounds so I can get my vaccine. So They're actually encouraging people to gain weight.
That's right. You could just show up at the site with a big fat suit on.
Oh, and I'll put a really good nose on.
And a big Orson Welles nose, and that they won't dare turn you away.
I need my vaccine now. I'm going to perform Macbeth.
Threaten to do magic if they don't comply.
Yeah.
That'll get you in right away.
I'm going to pull a coin out of your ear if you don't give me a vaccine. All right.
It's a lady.
Hello. It's so nice to see you. Oh, God.
That's terrible.
Well, here comes the rain again. We're getting a big thumping here.
Is it coming on like a memory? I don't have any rain here. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, we don't live that close together. But like I said, maybe
you live in Wisconsin, basically.
Maybe someday we'll all live in the same senior complex.
Convalescent home, yeah.
You know, one of those progressive ones that you have kind of a townhouse for a while, and then it gets a little worse, and they move you to this other section where you get a little more care, and then pretty soon.
Those are great. I have a cousin who lives in one of those.
I think that's the way we're going to go.
And she just lives basically in a condo. It's not, but it's part of their system. And she got her COVID vaccine right away.
Oh yeah. One of my neighbor Bob's parents live at not the Bob you know, but a different neighbor Bob. His parents live in like I guess kind of a high rise. And each floor is, in my mind, it's like each floor is you get progressively worse. So you move to another floor, and pretty soon you're at this floor where they just do everything for you, and you're in virtual reality. I guess I don't know what happens, but there you go. That could be a TV show. The Tower.
Yeah. Oh, and we also watched Nomadland, which actually I was first. I think Paul S. was the first one I heard about it from.
Oh.
So we like that. That was great.
Oh,
you get some real footage shot in western South Dakota.
Yes, you were telling me about that, and that sounds like a good one. Get to see Wild Drug, and
you get to see them serving up those hot beef sandwiches.
For a nickel.
You also see large trays of the Wild Drug donuts.
Oh, and the 5-cent.
Pretty darn good.
The free ice water. Did they make it?
That wasn't as exciting.
Right. Oh, the donuts.
Free ice water,
yeah. Well,
and the 5-cent coffee.
You're right.
No, that's also Al's Oasis.
Wait.
Who did the 5-cent coffee first? Al's Oasis or Wild Drug?
Who did it first? Oh,
yeah,
that's the
they
question.
both do it.
That's a question for the listeners.
Okay, Glenda, I expect you to get an answer.
Or one of our other main listeners whose name I bungled up the other day, and I have to apologize. Sorry, Max P, but I got your name wrong on the previous episode, and I apologize.
Mark Pork. Abner, Hunter, Phil, George.
Jim Abner, Hunter George.
I hope I got that right.
Jim Abner.
I feel like that's a very specific memory, and if I had that wrong, that's kind of sad.
That would be disconcerting, perhaps. But see, that's...
Yeah, especially to all those AHG fans.
It just indicates that you need to move to the memory care clinic level of the tower.
The Tower.
I got to come up with
that was a movie.
Oh
recently.
Yeah, I got to come up with a different name, but the
with
high rise.
Alan Alda. Yeah.
Maybe I'll call it the high rise. I don't know. I'm gonna work on something.
Low rise.
Oh, the other thing about Schitt's Creek that I got a kick out of, because my dad had owned a motel, was when they kept differentiating. This is a motel, not a hotel. I don't know. For some reason, it was.
Oh, that place definitely reminded me of the Lazy U. Even the office was a little bit like it.
It's probably the same time
the
period.
big thing full of the tourist attraction brochures. And
Right. Probably had an ice machine Will you give Buck a
Even though you have no idea where they... I mean, it's in Canada somewhere, but...
But is the show
what
really
tourist
take place in
attractions?
Canada? I don't know. Is this...
They're nice and vague about it.
No, that's good. It could be anywhere. Not anywhere. Well, okay, fine.
All right.
I think we came... Let's see, we talked about moths and gin and Orson Welles. And noses. Fine.
Noses supposes.
Dr. Seuss.
Thankfully, we're not going to talk about Dr. Seuss or the fact that Pepe Le Pew was canceled.
Pepe Le Pew was, too?
Yeah.
I guess...
I don't know why he wasn't canceled years ago.
He was... that was... Yeah.
No, we talked about that with
Did we?
Chris E.
Oh, right. What?
Yes, we did talk about Warner Brothers cartoons. So,
Yeah. But
it came up again recently.
Pepe Le Pew was definitely one of those characters that, in hindsight, was... leave that lady alone. She's not into you.
No, it's really bad.
I don't know. When I was a kid, I thought it was funny, I guess, but I didn't like those. I didn't like Pepe Le Pew as much as other characters. Is Speedy Gonzales still around? Did they show
I
those?
don't think so.
They got to take.
No. You always, every time that comes up, the Speedy thing comes up, you hear these people chime in and claim that people in Mexico love Speedy Gonzales.
Oh. Do they?
Well, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't make him any less of a racist caricature.
I don't know.
Speedy was definitely one of the least of the characters anyway, even before I knew better.
Sure, along with Pepe Le Pew and
yeah, those were talk about bottom shelf.
Bottom shelf Looney Tunes.
Bottom shelf Looney Tunes. Yep.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, that one again, and you'd go get a bowl of cereal or something. Well, good night.
Well, yeah, I guess I don't.
This is the first.
That was season 6.
No, this is the first season of. This is the first episode of season 1. Oh no, season 7. We're on season 7 now.
Yeah, we're both wrong.
God.
John and Phil are often wrong.
Help. Episode.
I need to move to the next level.
Episode 7 is our memory care clinic episode season. Okay, fine. We're on level.
Does that level have a bar in it?
Yeah, evidently. So, okay, so we're at level 7 now, season 7, episode 1. Assuming this comes out in order. Thanks, everyone.
Well, actually, I think it will, right?
We should.
Okay, we better get a guest for our next one.
Thanks for listening, everyone, especially Mark P. and Max P. and
Max, come on,
Glenda,
yeah.
And our other listeners.
Glenda is our rock.
Our other listeners who don't comment. We have other listeners. We're well loved.
Okay, and I'm going to be on Rapid City pretty soon, so I'll make a field recording or something.
Good. We need another field recording. Maybe you could
maybe I'll go to Taco John's or something.
Yeah, you'll actually be able to, maybe. Fine.
Oh, I'm not going to go in there and eat.
Oh, okay. Well, it might be warm enough to eat out at the little tiny picnic table, concrete picnic table.
We could eat at the little picnic table with the steel curved roof over it.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful.
I would love to do that right now.
I have a funny feeling after watching Nomadland, you're going to get a wall drug donut too.
You know, I might have to stop there. I'm driving, and I'm going by myself. So
you could do a field recording at Wall Drug.
There you go. I could get it'll be late in the day probably, but I could get a donut.
Yeah. Is it late? Is there ever a too late in the day time for a donut for you?
No, of course not.
No, I remember. I think once you got a Krispy
I think
Kreme.
they're better fresh though. Well, I don't think Wall Drug makes them all day.
Oh, that's true. Maybe they don't.
So maybe on the way back, I'll have to stop there. And
all right, get a donut. Damn it.
Could be
Donuts.
a donut and a hot beef sandwich.
Hot beef donut sandwich. Mmm.
Okay. Good. Well, have a good week.
God bless you and your kin. Bye.
Bye.
This gig sucks. I quit.
And here's the song!
Hash brown Betty, bamba lamb. Hash brown Betty, bamba lamb. Nice and crisp, bamba lamb. When they hit your lips, bamba lamb. Soft inside, bamba lamb. Made with pride, bamba lamb. Hash brown Betty, bamba lamb. Hash brown Betty, bamba lamb. Not too greasy, bamba lamb. She made it look easy, bamba lamb. No onion or cheese, bamba lamb. They went down with ease, bamba lamb. I wanna eat it. The day she died, bamba lamb. Coffin 6 feet wide, bamba lamb. Frying pan, bamba lamb. By her side, bamba lamb. Hash brown Betty, bamba lamb. Hash brown Betty, bamba lamb.